Chicago Bulls need to re-sign Patrick Williams this offseason. What's going on, guys? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, I'm going to give you guys 5 reasons why Chicago needs to bring back number 44 during this summer. But before we dive into that, guys, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this because I think this is a polarizing topic amongst Bulls fans. As, some people are Patrick Williams believers, and some people are, Patrick Williams doubters. So let me know, would you re-sign Patrick Williams before we dive into today's show? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down in the comments section. Now, before I give you guys my 5 reasons, I will just want to get this on my chest. I will be incredibly disappointed in the Chicago Bulls front office if they do not bring back Patrick Williams. And, for a plethora of reasons. And my number one reason on why I would bring him back is his potential. I think he is one of those guys in the NBA, just like how Lauri Markkanen was, just like how, Derrick Jones was in a different situation. But these young players who the Bulls took at the top of the draft, they don't work out for the first, for their rookie contract, and then they go somewhere else, and then they end up being successful. I could see the exact same situation happening with Patrick Williams. And the biggest part on his potential is this man is still 22 years old. Like, he is nowhere near to where nowhere near his final form of his NBA basketball career. And just every single time I watch him, I will just see flashes of his all-star potential in the league. And I think he is one of those guys, and I don't think he's got that Kawhi Leonard potential that, we originally thought here as Bulls fans when he was coming out of Florida State. But is he a guy that could turn into a P.J. Washington, a Jaden McDaniels, those long athletic wings who can knock down threes in the flow of the offense? 100%. So a guy like Patrick Williams, I really think, if you see him in 3 years from now with more off seasons under his belt, more reps, we could be looking at him as one of the best 3-and-D players in the entire National Basketball Association. So the number one reason why I bring him back is I still believe he has potential, and people just think this is his final form. He won't be able to take that next step. He's 22 years old. He will still be able to add, more assets to his game, and I just think he's going to end up, really, really working out here in the next couple of seasons. But number 2 for me is his archetype. And I kind of alluded to this a couple seconds ago, but just that 3-and-D wing who can, guard multiple positions on the outside, on the perimeter, but he can also just be a connecting piece on offense. Other NBA GMs and other teams will be so interested in him this summer. And, we've already heard teams, having interest in a guy like Patrick Williams, and, for right reason. He is that wing that every NBA GM is trying to get their hands on. I'm not comparing him to Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, but just look at the NBA Finals. Look at what the Mavs have done with Derrick Jones and P.J. Washington. Those types of guys impact winning at the highest level in the league. You need size. You need guys who can knock down threes at the end of the shot clock, at the end of the possessions. And Patrick Williams is the definition of that, shooting over 40% from downtown throughout his NBA career. And, hey, I think the Thunder are a very well-run organization. And, they know a whole lot more about this game and about this league than I do. And if we're already getting reports that the Thunder may have interest in Patrick Williams, coming in from Darnell Mayberry, who covers the Bulls for The Athletic, I would trust them. I would really it's not something where it's just because the Thunder said it, I want to go do it. But, I think it speaks to Patrick Williams and, what other teams think about him. And I promise you, when he hits the market and the deals he will be getting, us as Bulls fans will be shocked and we will be, just very, blown away by the deal he will get. So, I think other teams are going to see the archetype and see the type of player he is, and they're going to be like, man, I need a guy like Patrick Williams on my ball club. But the third reason why I bring him back is we have already seen his game develop in the NBA. And I'll touch on this here a little more in a second. But first off, guys, I want to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. If you guys download the PrizePicks app and use promo code CLNS, we're going to match your first deposit up to $100. Pick more, pick less PrizePicks. It is that easy. With the NBA Finals getting going right now, you guys want to add a little more juice to these games? Creating a PrizePicks lineup is the best way to do so. And even when the finals are over, you guys can support the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese, take the more on her rebounds, whatever it may be. PrizePicks has it all. So click that link in the comment section and the description of today's show, prizepicks.com/CLNS. And when you're making your first deposit into your account, we are going to match it up to $100. It's prizepicks.com patreon.com/CLNS and use promo code CLNS, and you guys can win some big money today. So speaking more on how Patrick Williams has developed so far in his NBA career, and if you guys just look at the raw numbers here, you're not going to see a big jump. Averaging around 9 to 10 points a game throughout his NBA career, but it's a three-point percentage that sticks out to me. And when he came out of Florida State, what was the biggest concern all of us Bulls fans had on him is that hitching his jump shot, will he be able to knock down the three ball at the next level? He has shown an elite ability to do so. And even earlier this year, throughout the first 15 games, he was shooting around 29% during the first month of the season. Well, he ended it in the next about, 30-ish games. He got it up to 40%. And he has already taken huge strides since his rookie season. You're not going to see it in the raw numbers. You haven't seen that, huge burst up to, 15 points a game, but we've already seen it, from the eye test. He looks a whole lot different. He looks a whole lot more comfortable out there on the basketball court. And if I had to say my biggest gripe with Patrick Williams is he has been too passive. We throw out all these nicknames for him, the Paul, Baby Kawhi, but I think the one that, speaks most to his game is passive P, because he is too passive sometimes. I want to see him in with that killer mentality, getting downhill, and just overall kind of acting more of like the man out there on the basketball court, because he's got the potential to do so. He's got the athletic ability to do so. Just comes down to him, actually doing it. But, number 4, his defensive ability is through the roof. He already is one of the best wing defenders in the NBA that we have, and, just kind of speaks to more of the reason why I would bring him back, because, we need more of those guys on this roster. And when he went out last season, the Bulls didn't have a wing. They had Alex Caruso or DeMar DeRozan running spots at the power forward, or running reps at the power forward position. And I think he can play the 4. He can play the 3. He can guard at the highest level. And the thing I love about him the most is his strength when he's guarding on the perimeter. When other wings and other guards are trying to turn that corner on him, he's got a really strong chest. He can cut them off, and he can be one of the best wing defenders in the entire NBA. I already think he's top 10 in that department. But if you see him in 3, 4, 5 years from now, when his body is fully developed and he has seen, everything other NBA offenses, can deploy at him, he would just continuously develop. And I think when we're looking back on it in 5 years, you're going to be like, man, Patrick Williams, he's one of the best defenders we have in the NBA. And my last reason to bring him back, I don't think he's necessarily had the fairest chance to develop his game. And, a big reason for this was a guy like Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, all of them getting all these shots. And, his average shots per game are, 7.8. 7.8 throughout his NBA career. That is just, going to hinder his development. Most of his shots when he came immediately into the league was him just acting as a role player. And maybe that will be, who he is when we look back on this. But I think he could be a guy where it's like, hey, he's averaging 15 a night. He's shooting 50% from the field, 40% from downtown. And he's also one of the best defenders. That's one of the most valuable guys you could have in the entire NBA. And it gets me back to DeMar DeRozan. I have been in this camp for a while now, and this is nothing, personal with DeMar, but I just think the Bulls are in the position where, they should move off DeMar DeRozan. And it has nothing to do with what he's done for the Bulls, because he's been fantastic. I honestly will chalk up most of the player development to guys like Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu to this man right here. But how do you want to take the next step with Patrick Williams? Very similar to how Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu took that next step this past season, is when Zach LaVine went out. Their usage rate and their shots per game went through the roof. If you trade DeMar DeRozan, the same thing will happen with Patrick Williams. So, no, I just gave you guys 5 reasons on why I would bring back Patrick Williams. You guys let me know. I'll ask you guys this one last time on today's show. Would you re-sign Patrick Williams? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments section. Now, make sure you guys are subscribed here, because if we get any reports on, Patrick Williams re-signing or another team potentially interested in a sign and trade, we'll have a video for you guys ASAP. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Go Bulls.